Hey, it's back at Trixx here, and today I am bringing you another deck profile, but this time it is on my Lunalight Metalfoes deck. If you have not seen what this deck does, please check out the live stream on Twitch. It's where I do all of the showcasings and all of the duel videos for my decks that I test, and I don't even know what to say about this deck. This deck is ridiculously fast, it's super consistent, it's fun, it's based on fusions, and I don't know what to say. I never would have thought how synergetic Metalfoes and Lunalights could be until actually testing the deck for myself. But if you haven't already, please check out the live stream. It's where I do everything. It's just where I show the decks. And also, don't forget to leave a like on the video, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment, tell me what you think about the deck in the description, tell me if you've actually used this deck before. I find it very, very fun, but let's just go ahead and get started with the deck profile. You already saw the first card, it's Lunalight White Rabbit. This is the best normal summon of the deck. You gotta run 3 copies of it. When it's normal summoned, you target a Lunalight in your graveyard. That includes the fusions, except for the boss monster, which is Leo Dancer. Except for that one, and itself. Special summon it from the graveyard. It goes to defense position, and it also has the once per turn giant Trinate effect. You can target spell or trap cards your opponent controls equal to the number of Lunalight cards you control other than this card, and bounce them back to hand. This is the best normal summon the deck has to offer. It's very, very fun, but its partner in crime that you typically will special summon is Lunalight Black Sheep. You'll either go for Black Sheep or you'll go for one of the fusions. But Black Sheep's really good because they're both level 2, so they have rank 2 synergy. But also, this card, you can discard it from your hand to either add a poly or a Lunalight, add a poly from deck to hand, or a Lunalight monster from grave to hand. It's not once per turn, but this card is also the reason that this deck synergizes very, very well with Metalfoes, because it says when this card is sent to graveyard as a fusion material for a fusion summon, you can add a Lunalight Pendulum monster from your extra deck back to hand, or a Lunalight monster from grave to hand. It's not once per turn, it's not limited to Lunalight fusion monsters, so that means that you can fusion summon this with one of your Metalfoes to go into the Metalfoes fusion, and you'll get your Lunalight Black Sheep effect. It's ridiculous, and it's not even once per turn, and you can get it out of the graveyard with White Rabbit, and you can search this, and you can do so many combos with this. You can use Fusion Tag on it to do other plays, and oh, this card's so good. Triple Blue Cat. This is one of the floaters that Lunalights have to offer. The other one is Lunalight Tiger. But Blue Cat, when this card is special summoned, you target a Lunalight you control, and you double its original attack. That effect can only be used once per turn, but this is the floater, so when it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon another Lunalight from your deck, which includes itself. So if you play your cards right, Blue Cat can actually float essentially 5 times. So like you can let's just say your opponent is going into battle damage and they have 5 monsters. They'll attack the Blue Cat, they kill it, you'll special summon this one from the deck, you'll special summon another Blue Cat, and they'll attack this, they'll kill it. Okay, special summon another Blue Cat from your deck, they attack, they kill it, you float into this one, Lunalight Tiger. You run 3 copies of this. Lunalight Tiger has a blow up effect, not as good as Tigers, or as Blue Cats, but it's pretty good. This one's only once per turn though. But anyway, to continue the chain, so it goes Blue Cat, into Blue Cat, into Blue Cat, into Tiger, and then Tiger's effect says it special summons a Lunalight from the graveyard when this card's popped. So you special summon the Blue Cat again, and then Blue Cat, when it's popped again, you'll special summon a Lunalight from your deck. But Lunalight Tiger, this card is a scale 5, it's a level 3, it's a light, which is different, but its Pendulum effect's really good. It special summon once per turn, you target a Lunalight in your graveyard, special summon it, but it can't attack, its effects are gated, destroyed in the end phase. That doesn't even matter, you're going to fusion with it anyway, so it really doesn't matter that the effects are negated and it can't attack. But when this card, its monster effect is cool because it actually activates in the scale too. It's because it says if this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, not if this monster. Meaning if I have this in my scale and my opponent decides to Mystical Space Typhoon this, it's like, okay, that's fine, I'll just special summon a Lunalight monster from my graveyard, which is really, really powerful. Lunalight Tiger, you gotta run 3 copies of it, as well as 3 copies of Lunalight Wolf. This is the other Pendulum scale that the Lunalights have to offer, but unfortunately, in the pure Lunalight deck, this card sucked. Like, you could never, like a lot of the times you would either have to, like, Blue Cat float into this, or you would have to actually tribute summon for this, because Tiger's a scale 5, Wolf's a scale 1, you can't even Pendulum summon it, but it's not that big of a deal. But now, in the Metalfoes version, this card is MVP. So, I'll just read to you its monster effect. It allows Lunalight monsters to do piercing damage. Okay, that's amazing, because all of the fusions attack twice on all monsters. With this, you just do piercing, and you do their effects, and oh, it's so good. But its Pendulum effect is really powerful too. It is a Miracle Synchro fusion from the graveyard, meaning you banish Lunalights that are in your graveyard or on the field to fusion summon into Lunalight fusions. But that does not mean, but that also means that you do not have to use Poly for it, which is really, really powerful. You gotta run 3 copies of Lunalight Wolf, and that is it for the Lunalight engine. We do not run Purple Butterfly because she just is not relevant in this deck, and at least in the Metalfoes version. Now for the Metalfoes, we run the 1 copy of Steelin, the 1 copy of Silvered, 2 copies of Gold Driver, and 2 copies of Volflame. I'm just going to talk about them all at the same time because they are pretty much all the same. You run 2 Volflame because he is the beat stick that you'll special summon from the deck, as well as it's a scale 8. You run the 2 copies of Gold Driver because it has rank 4 capabilities, pretty high attack stat, and it's a scale 1. The 1 Silvered because it's another scale 1, it's another name, and it allows for rank 3 capabilities. I would just rather run 3 copies of Gold Driver, but I do not have 3 at the moment, so I'm just running the 1. It's not that big of a deal. If you had Break Sword and you want to incorporate Break Sword, I'd run Silvered. It's very, very powerful. But nevertheless, if you just want to do the rank 4 version, just run triple Gold Driver. And then the 1 Steelin because it's a scale 8 and it's a level 2 for rank 2 capabilities. If you are not familiar with Metalfoes, all of their monsters are normal, at least as of right now, except for like the OCG version. They have a couple effect monsters, but their Pendulum effects all say you can, once per turn, target another face-up card you control, destroy it, and then set a Metalfoes spell or trap card directly from your deck. So it synergizes with Blue Cat, it synergizes with Tiger, it synergizes with the other Metalfoes, it synergizes with the trap card, and these cards are so good. But that's it for those. And they're also scale 1s and 8s, so you can Pendulum summon that Lunalight Wolf that might be dead in your hand. Onto the spells that we run. We run the 1 copy of Metalfoes Fusion with 3 Polymerization. This is a fusion deck. You gotta run Poly. It's amazing. You have to run 3 copies of this. And we only run 1 Metalfoes Fusion because it's a recyclable, searchable fusion card that allows you to draw a card as well by shuffling it back into the deck. And you can set it directly from the deck with the Metalfoes. You only need 1 because 1 will get you there, and it's not even like a brick if you open with this, because you'll just fuse and then shuffle it back into the deck. So you gotta run these. For the other spells, we run triple Fire Formation Tinky. This is the search card for all of your Lunalights except for Lunalight Wolf. But what are you gonna do? You can always just pop Blue Cat, special summon the Wolf from the deck. So there's that. But Tinky, it also gives your monsters attack boosts, and because this card stays face up, you can pop this with the Metalfoes to search other cards, which is really cool. We also run 3 Lunalight Perfume. 3 Lunalight Perfume. This card is a Gospel Revival for the deck. It's not once per turn. You just target a Lunalight monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Very, very short, sweet, to the point. Its other effect says you can banish this from the graveyard, then discard a card to add a Lunalight monster from deck to hand. So this is your Tinky for Wolf if you need to search Wolf, but a lot of the times you'll use Lunalight Perfume, discard a card to search Black Sheep, and then you'll discard that same Black Sheep to search the Polymerization from your deck. Just because it's deck thinning and you always need Polymerization because this is a fusion deck. But you gotta run 3 Lunalight Perfume because the Lunalights, some of them get their effects when they're special summoned, meaning Blue Cat, and it special summons the fusions from the graveyard, and you just need to capitalize on Perfume because you need to special summon as much as possible. 2, Fusion Tag. This is the card that, like, really, the spell card that blends the 2 archetypes together, because you can target a monster you control, you reveal a fusion monster in your extra deck, and then the targeted monster's name becomes that fusion monster. So it allows you to rank up into your Lunalight fusions or rank up into your Metalfoes fusions with your monsters. This card works really, really well with Black Sheep, because Black Sheep, when it's used for fusion material and sent to graveyard, you will get a card back to your hand from either grave or extra deck, which is a Lunalight using Black Sheep, which is really, really good. Fusion Tag, it allows you to just do so many plays. You can fusion summon the Lunalights with the Metalfoes to go into Metalfoes, or the Metalfoes with the Lunalights into Lunalights. It's just so dumb. Very, very powerful card. You gotta run it at 2. I wanted to try to run 3, but I could not, for the life of me, find a card to take out to run the 3rd copy. But what are you gonna do? Like, you'll have game by the time you see the 3rd one anyway. So, and then 2, Fusion Recovery. I don't have this card currently at the moment, so I just gotta proxy it. But I know what the card does, so I'll just go ahead and tell you. Fusion Recovery allows you to add a polymerization as well as a fusion material that was used for a fusion summon this turn back to your hand. From the graveyard, which is very, very powerful. Recycling polymerization is crucial for this deck, because Metalfoes Fusion only allows you to special summon, or fusion summon into Metalfoes, but Poly special summons anything, so you need 2 copies of this. 3 clogs, you don't want 3. But that is it for the spells. Onto the traps, we do run 2 Metalfoe counter. You set it directly from the deck by popping with the Metalfoes. This card synergizes well because it says if a card you control or cards you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you special summon a Metalfoe directly from your deck, and which is really cool. It special summons out the big level 7 Metalfoe Volflame, just so you don't have to dead draw it, which is cool. But also what it says is during either player's turn, except the turn it was sent to graveyard, you can banish this to add a Metalfoe from your extra deck, one of the pendulums, back to your hand. So this card synergizes well because all of the Metalfoes pop, and then Blue Cat gets an effect when it's popped, Tiger gets an effect when it's popped. You can chain counter to those. It's a very, very powerful card. You gotta run it at 2, but 3 is just a dead draw. We also run 2 Echo Oscillation. This card is insane. You can actually activate this during your opponent's turn, which is nuts. If you don't know what this card does, I'll just go ahead and read it to you. It says you can target a card in your pendulum zone, destroy it, then you draw a card. You can only use it once per turn. But, so you can actually chain Metalfoe counter to Oscillation after you pop the card. So let's just say we have Lunalight Tiger in our scale. So you activate Echo Oscillation, pop the Tiger, draw a card, then Tiger's effect will activate to special summon a Lunalight from your graveyard, and then you chain counter, because the card was popped, to special summon a Metalfoe directly from your deck, and then you just got a free, basically a +2 off of just 1 card. Very, very good. You gotta run 2 copies of this. It's continuous, meaning if you need to, you can pop this with the Metalfoes, because it'll be face up to do the Metalfoes searching. Very, very good card. And then the last 2 traps in the deck to make it a 41 card deck. I could not find a way to make this deck 40 cards, but it doesn't matter. You can go through so many cards in one turn that it doesn't really matter. But you have to run this card, and it's 2 Quaking Mirror Force. This card is insane because putting your opponent's monsters into defense position just allows you to really make use of the Lunalights with the Metalfoe fusion, because Wolf allows your Lunalights to do piercing, and the fusions attack twice, and the Metalfoe fusion Orichalc does double piercing damage in defense position monsters. It's so dumb how amazing this card is in the deck. You gotta run 2 copies. But that is it for the main deck. Let's go ahead and get on to the extra deck. You saw the first card. It was Gachi Gachi Gentetsu. This card's a really, really powerful rank 2. I've been watching a lot of other builds on YouTube, and it doesn't make sense to me why they're not running this card. It boosts up your monsters, and this card's a wall. So if this card has both of its materials, your Metalfoe Fusion Orichalc becomes a 3200 beater that does double piercing damage. I don't understand when people are not capitalizing on this card. It's a very, very powerful card. It can save itself by detaching a material, and it's just an overall very, very powerful rank 2. Some people are running Daigusto Phoenix, and if you want to run Daigusto Phoenix, be my guest, but I strongly consider running Gachi Gachi. One for the rank 4, we do run the one Utopia with Utopia the Lightning. We can make it, so you gotta play it. Utopia the Lightning is just a 5k hitter that, like, everything's negated when he attacks. It's so good. One of the best cards in the game. One Gaga Cowboy. Sometimes you won't be able to do just as much damage as you want to, but that's where Cowboy comes in, because he'll burn your opponent for a measly 800 damage, and Cowboy gets you there. It does game half the time. And then one Castell. It's a very problematic card for a lot of decks. You can make this to spin a card back into your opponent's deck, or bait something out. Castell's just a very problematic card for a lot of decks. You gotta play it. The one Dweller. If you want to run Daigusto Emerald to put your fusions back into the deck, you can do so, but I think Dweller's just better this format because it really capitalizes on offensive capabilities rather than establishing your next turn. I'd rather just go for game that turn than establishing for the next turn. I really like Dweller in this deck. That is it for the XYZs. Onto the fusions. We do run the one Metalfoes Adamante. I really wanted to try instant fusion in the deck, but like I said, this deck space is really, really tight, and you can't afford to run instant fusion, unfortunately. But Adamante is really nice. He is an instant fusion target, which is kind of cool, but we don't run instant fusion in this build. Metalfoe Adamante, it's a generic, it's a normal monster that you can fusion summon with the Black Sheep by using fusion tag on it, but you need this card as a one of, because it allows you to go into Orichalc, which we run 2 copies of. If you don't know what this card does, it requires 2 Metalfoe fusions to go in, or 2 Metalfoe monsters to go into. Fusion tag will make your Lunalights Metalfoes if you want to do that, which is really cool. But Orichalc, this monster, its effect is if a Metalfoe monster, not just him, a Metalfoe monster you control attacks a defense position monster, you do double piercing damage. So that's insane. But its other effect says when this card is sent from field to grave, you can pop a card on the field, which is really, really cool. Orichalc is super powerful. We run 2 copies, not 1, because 1 will be a fusion tag target. You'll reveal this to make one of your monsters this card's name for the turn, and then you'll just if you go ahead and fusion summon from there. That is it for the Metalfoe fusions. We don't run Crimsonite because it never comes up. 2 Cat Dancer, 1 is a fusion tag target, but you can make both in 1 turn very, very easily. This card requires 2 Lunalight monsters to fusion summon into, but this card's insane. So let's just go ahead and read it to you. It says it cannot be destroyed by battle. That's very good. But also, during your main phase 1 once per turn, you tribute another Lunalight monster you control to make this card be able to attack twice on each monster your opponent controls. And then whenever it declares an attack, it burns your opponent for 100 damage. So, for example, let's just say they have 2 monsters on board. You tribute, main phase 1, tribute another Lunalight monster you control, go ahead and enter battle phase, attack one of the opponent's monsters, do 100 damage to your opponent, it doesn't kill the monster. You attack the other one, burn your opponent for 100 damage, doesn't kill the monster. Attack the other one, burn another 100 damage, kill the monster. Attack the other one, burn 100 damage, kill the monster. It's insane because Lunalight Wolf allows you to do piercing damage, so if they're in defense mode, you basically burn them for 100 damage for each attack, and you did piercing damage, and you got rid of their monsters. This card's really good. 2 Panther Dancer. To fusion summon this, you have to have a Cat Dancer and 1 other Lunalight monster you control. This card's really good. It can't be destroyed by card effects to your opponent, that your opponent uses, which is really cool. But this also has the same effect as Cat Dancer by being able to attack twice, except you don't have to tribute a Lunalight you control. But this card, what you can do is when he attacks twice each on each monster. He attacks and he gains 200 attack until the end of the turn, end of the battle phase. So, same example, they have 2 monsters. You attack, he becomes a 3k beat stick, doesn't kill the monster. Attack the other monster, becomes a 3200 beat stick, doesn't kill the monster. Attack, 3400 attack, kill the monster. Attack, 3400 attack, kill the monster. Panther Dancer is insane, but you have to run 2 because 1 is a fusion tag target. And then the last 2 cards are 2 Lunalight Leo Dancer. This card is the boss monster for the deck. It's very, very powerful. It has the Magic Spectre clause, meaning that they cannot be targeted or destroyed by opponent's card effects, which is really powerful. 3,500 attack. To fusion summon this, you have to use Lunalight Panther Dancer, this one, with 2 other Lunalight monsters you control. So it's a little costly to make this, but if you make this, you should have game because this card's insane. Unfortunately, you cannot White Rabbit this card from the graveyard, which is unfortunate. You can with the other ones, but you can't with this one. But this one says, cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects. This card can make a second attack during each battle phase, once per turn, and at the end of the damage step, if this card attacked in a monster, you can destroy all special summon monsters your opponent controls. So this has a mini Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend effect. Doesn't burn them for the damage, but that's okay, because this card is ridiculous. With Wolf on the board, it does piercing, and it's so powerful. You gotta try it. But guys, that is it for this deck profile. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, as well as make sure that you please follow me on Twitch. It's where I do all of the showcasings for all of these decks, and it's just this deck's so fun. Like, you would not believe how fast this deck is until you actually go ahead and try it out for yourselves. But anyway, guys, that is it for the video. If you would be so kindly to please leave a like, subscribe, check out the Twitch, and tell me what you think about the deck if you've tried it and all that stuff. And anyway, I will go ahead and see you guys later.